If you're going to be changing the brake pads on your car, you're going to need to first safely lift and support it and remove the wheels. Please follow the link provided at the end of this video for additional assistance with those tasks. Grab the brake pad sensor, yellow and green arrow, with a pair of needle nose pliers. If your brake pad sensors activated the lamp on your dashboard, they will need to be replaced. Disconnect the sensor and plug in a new one. The plug for the sensor is located at the top of the wheel well, orange arrow. This photo also shows the wheel speed sensor and plug, red and purple arrows, which is used with the anti-lock braking system. To remove the old pads, pull out the small pin retainers, blue arrow in the insert picture, and tap out the retaining pins, green arrow, with a screwdriver or punch and a very small hammer. They should slide out pretty easily as there is usually no load on them. If there is much difficulty encountered during the removal process, then tap on the pads slightly to remove pressure from the pins. The yellow arrow points to the electrical cable clip for the brake pad sensor. Pulling out the pads usually involves the use of a screwdriver for leverage. The pads are loose in the caliper, but it's a pretty tight fit. There is usually a lot of dust and debris in the caliper. Wiggle the pads back and forth in order to pry them free. If you're changing your pads, you might want to get new retaining clips and all the hardware. The kit usually includes 2 new retaining springs, 4 pin clips, and 4 pins that are used to hold the pads to the caliper. When you're ready to install the new pads, I'd like to reinsert the old ones and then pry between the pads and the rotor to push the pistons back into the caliper, or use a C-clamp. Another option is to use a wooden or plastic handle to push back the caliper pistons. Don't use a screwdriver in there as you might damage some of the piston seals. And keep your eye on the fluid level in the master reservoir. As you push the pistons back in, you will be pushing fluid back up into the reservoir, and depending on the wear of the pads, the fluid can overflow. Don't forget to reinstall the small retaining clips for the pad retaining pins, and bed the brakes in according to the manufacturer of the brake pads that you purchase. Don't forget, sometimes bedding the brakes can take up to 100 miles and you will have diminished brake capabilities until that point. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out another video in this series.